Hi everyone, my name is Rusell John.
And I'm Cesar Dayao, your friendly neighborhood with the spoon.
And we are the domestic duo.
And now we're going to discuss the literary elements of the book entitled The Last Leaf by O.
Leaf? Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss the literary elements of the book entitled The Last Leaf. The author of this book is the one and only O. Henry, and was born on September 11, 1862, and he died at June 4, 1910. So now, explain na natin yung plot analysis.
So the first one is the exposition. Shu and Johnsy share the flat on the third story of an old house. But in the month of November, Shu's friend, which is Johnsy, got sick, called pneumonia.
Rising action. Johnsy thought that she would die when the last ivy leaf fall.
How tragic.
Then Sue told Burnham about Johnsy problem.
So now, the climax. Johnsy learned a lesson from the last leaf that it is sin to wish to die. So guys, don't wish to die because it is a sin.
Paano masabi?
A sin is a soul.
Falling action. The doctor told Sue that Johnsy would recover, but Berman got pneumonia, and there was no hope for him.
Oh why?
So sad.
So now we're down to the last part, which is the resolution or the denouement. Shu told Johnsy that Burnham had sacrificed his life for the sake of her life.
Listen, look, and listen, and learn.
The first definition I will discuss is the Bay of Maple in a picturesque seacoast of the Italian Sea of Maple in the Tyrrhenian. Next is chivalry, a code of honor held by knights in medieval times which promoted bravery and devotion to the weak. Next is juniper berry, a fragrant berry-like fruit used to flavor gin. Next is dapper, a useless or unsuitable person, especially an old man. The last definition I will discuss is
Pharmacopoeia.
it is a manual of medical drugs and their use.
A few moments later.
Hi everyone, so now we're going to discuss about the figures of speech on the last leaf. So as you can see, I'm all alone because my friend is sleeping. So, the first part of figure speech that we will talk about is personification. The vine is killing her. In this part of the story, I think she said that because she thinks that the falling leaves and the vine represents her life. And the leaves are falling one by one. So she thinks that if all the leaves will fall to the ground, it will be the end of her life. So now let's move on to the next figure of speech. Move on. Russ, say hi. Which is the simile. Johnsy was lying white and still as a fallen statue. So, Rusell, can you tell me why? Oh, I guess he's sleeping, so I'm going to discuss all alone. So, because Johnsy is sick and pale, that she was compared to a statue because of their similarities. So why? Because the statue is still and white. Always remember, most of the statues are white and colorless. While Johnsy is pale because she's sick, and still because she can move freely. So the third one is imagery. His shoes and clothing were wet through and icy cold. Okay, so I'll try my best to explain this. So The statements were used so the readers will use their imagination to visualize the scene or the object. Just imagine, you're wet because it's raining, and your shoes and socks were soaked. Just imagine, your socks and shoes are soaked, and then put some ice on it, cold water to be exact. Oh, imagine how cold it is. So now we're down to the last figure of speech, which is comparison. So I'm back. So, the young artists must pave their way to art by drawing pictures for magazine stories. So, the young authors write to pave their way to literature. You get it? So, Mr. O. Henry used this to explain things through contrast and comparison. Art and literature are very close to each other, but the writer compares them on the level of their functions. Just always remember, literature is not an art, but you can find art in literature.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
A busy older man with shaggy gray eyebrows who attends to John C. and Burnham. He diagnosed John C. with mental as well as physical illness, telling Sue that he can't help a patient with medical when she doesn't want to get better. An old and somewhat bad-tempered artist who lives downstairs from Sue and John C. He has been painting for 4 decades without any commercial success. He is an alcoholic and earns money by posing a model for artists in the neighborhood.
Joanna, John C., a young artist from California. She lives with Sue in a studio apartment in Greenwich Village and has a long dream of visiting Italy to paint the Bay of Naples. She falls seriously ill with pneumonia and becomes convinced that she will die when the last leaf falls from the vine outside her window. The doctor presents John C's hopeless and her acceptance of death as the primary obstacle to her recovery. But John C's nonetheless cannot shake her fatalistic insistence that she will die when the last leaf falls. Shue's attempt to cheer up are unsuccessful, but when Mr. Burnham paints a realistic painting of leaf onto the wall of outside the John C's window, a young artist from Maine, she is very close to John C., cooking for her, caring for her, and financially supporting her in her illness. When the doctor visits, she tells him firmly that John C. is not depressed. All characters in the story are static except John C., because John C. is a dynamic character. There is no antagonist in the story. Yeah!